It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the 49ers and the Bengals, and it's coming up next.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Going to my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out 2-25. Time to see the Bengals offense go to work. And leading them out, the #1 overall pick of the 2020 draft, Joe Burrow, now his second season out of LSU.
And what a rookie season he had indeed. A knee injury knocked him out in Week 11 at Washington. And while the Bengals only won 2 of his 10 starts, I think everyone around the league and anyone who watched the NFL came away impressed. 13 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, nearly 270 yards a game passing, the 3rd most by a rookie in NFL history.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw.
Throw for Burrow, but it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The 49er offense coming out here for the first time, led by their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo, 5th season with the 49ers, 8th overall in the National Football League.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
After a play like that, it should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. To throw is Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Well, get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Gould is able to put it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. The numbers for him from a week ago, 5 catches, 56 yards.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy the defenses had better focus on.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's got a Bengals first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now Burrow on first down. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. 7 yards the pickup there. On second down, here's Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Joe Mixon. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
That catch good for only a couple. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Here we go. 180.
First down and a little extra for Mostert as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Here we go, here we go.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
2nd and 12. Garoppolo looks to throw. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Ready to go on offense, out come the Bengals. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week, now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Out to the left, he's got Sample there. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, out comes the rookie 5th-round pick, Evan McPherson, for the Bengal field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. McPherson's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're doing the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Here's Richie James on the return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he will find his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. DJ Reader. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets out to the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. These two teams all tied after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. As they've got it 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust. They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. B.J. Hill able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to...
And now ball going to be intercepted yet again. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They were forced to punt last time. I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Garoppolo. That's complete to Dwelly, his tight end. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Mostert. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. To return it, Darius Phillips. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And what was amazing to me was the fact he was able to get as much on the ball as he did because he was on the run. Normally, when you're on the move like that, you don't expect the ball to go that far. You would think you need your lower body to be involved. That was an all-arm throw.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jason Barrett. And the Niners are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10 at the 20. He'll look to Mostert to start things out. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert, an 80-yard touchdown. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Well, Raheem Mostert, we know the story, from special teamer to postseason hero. All he needs is a little bit of space, CD, and he can do the rest.
And that's his second touchdown run of this game, and this one, add a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go. But how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. On the return, Phillips. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise, and starting to put together some drives.
12, 12, 12. 11 mighty. 11 mighty.
First down, here's Burrow. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. D Ford racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Here we go.
Second and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. On third down, Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Let's go.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw pulled in by Tate. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Burrow. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. T. Higgins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent, the blocking's been terrific, and obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
And there are really very few fullbacks in the NFL today that get used as weapons in the passing game. But Kyle Juszczyk, definitely one of them. Part of the reason he's been a Pro Bowler 5 years in a row.
Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Kittle. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. On the return, Phillips. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And despite the big lead, they really did next to nothing throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage. We'll see how aggressive they want to be going forward. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Now James returning. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. To throw is Garoppolo. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's Mostert, toss left side. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Sam Hubbard that time coming through defensively with reckless abandon.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Garoppolo. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On 2nd and 9. Burrow working the middle here. That's complete to Sample, the tight end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
54, come on. Check.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle by Eric Armstead. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. That's complete to the tight end Sample. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. So the PI decline, and that'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. So 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. To Mixon on the check down. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the 1st by a few yards. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. This one hauled in by Sample. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow dumps it off to Mixon. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
11, 12,
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow, touchdown! T. Higgins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Here's James. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is going to have a 49ers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They hand it off to Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. It's a run with Mostert. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. On the return, Phillips. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He gets this one to Boyd. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now it's Burrow. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. To the air again, Burrow. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Maurice Hurst make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He will find his man Chase, complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Burrow will throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On first down, Mixon, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the 17, Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
12.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow. He's got his man. This is Tate. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Not ahead of you, baby. I see.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Again, it's Burrow. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Samson Abuka. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Drew Sample, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all
of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. So the victory here for San Francisco, and this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours. Right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer, Tim Karen, said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to cycle